Well, welcome back to another podcast, an AI Amigos podcast. Got my friends here. If you guys want to introduce yourself, my two friends.
Blake, Apatow. Hello. Hey.
And it's Matthew, everyone. Hello. Welcome back. We took a, 1 month hiatus?
Yep.
Nice 1 monther.
Yeah, a little sabbatical.
Oh my gosh.
What you boys been up to? Huh? What have you been up to?
Working on AI, actually. Working on the AI company and filming gigs. What have you been doing, Blakey Poo? What have you been doing?
I have been kind of consoling Scarlett Johansson through this difficult period.
Good. As you should be.
Sam Altman tried to take her voice. Colin Jost, her husband's been just traveling work-wise, so I've just been kind of emotionally being there for her.
That is really sweet.
Yeah, I care about artists. I care about the purity of art, and I don't want people to just steal it. But again, it may be inevitable. They may be able to just take it.
I don't think people understand that about you, how caring you really are, and how you're there for the people like this.
And that's the thing is, I'm here for people. And again, it sounds like I'm a fatalist and a nihilist on AI, just saying it's going to take everything. And I'm open-minded to that fact, but I'm also trying to be a human. I'm trying to show up for the actual real human cost to AI.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to be an ambassador, kind of, for the civilization, specifically right now for Scarlett Johansson.
He's a fan of the people. I think it's a great story to touch on. If y'all haven't heard, OpenAI try to reach out to Scarlett Johansson so they can use her voice on ChatGPT 4.0, and she kept declining. I think the day before they announced it, they asked her one more time, still declined it.
One more time.
And there's
please. We made it all.
It's already finished.
We're literally shipping it to 100 million people in 2 days. Please
Say yes.
And the voice is called Sky. It sounds very similar to her. They say they hired a voice actor, but she's anonymous.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
What voice actor, what person from Hollywood would be like, you know what? I don't want the credit for this. It's like, I don't want
seriously.
I don't want to be GPT. Who doesn't want to be the new GPT? And he tweeted her.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, to be fair, to play devil's advocate, there's a lot of scrutiny and artists using AI. So I can see why she might want to be anonymous, but the story it seems too fishy. Way too fishy.
Anonymous. Why? Because they're going to be like, you're the reason AI is taking our job because you voiced it.
I don't know that she wants it anonymous, though, that the actor, it might have been part of the agreement, like the actual just contract with OpenAI. They're like, we don't want to make people world famous for some random actor at a level.
Okay.
So like the confidentiality could have been in that contract, not her choice. Maybe she's like, of course, fucking please put my name.
Maybe, but they wanted to give it to Scarlett, as you've been talking to her about. I mean,
yeah. So but she's already known by a billion people. Like Scarlett Johansson's the most famous woman actor right now. I mean, one of them, top 5.
Yeah.
She's known by like literally, she's like in these worldwide Marvel.
She's a superhero.
She's the one superhero chick that's like cool as fuck. Like she's in China and in all these different countries. China. They know about ScarJo. But I think this random bitch, they probably paid her $20,000 or $50,000, to get her voice, to get like just a cool hot lady voice, like kind of raspy, kind of like sexy. But I don't blame her for going for Scarlett Johansson. I also don't blame her for saying no.
100%.
Because it's weird. All the conversations people are going to have with OpenAI, with ChatGPT, obviously ChatGPT, I sound like an old person. All the conversations are going to have with OpenAI. But it is like, it's weird. She wants to protect that in the idea of course, this company, which is going to have hundreds of millions of users, billions and billions, trillions of queries. And it's like, she's like, my voice is going to be this, like, actually, it's one thing to have in a movie.
Yeah.
The idea of her being a girlfriend to tens of thousands of people, not to spoil it. But, of course, the actual idea of, it's such a weird life imitating art where we actually build the technology and a decade later, like, do you want to really be the girlfriend to a billion people? And that's what's so good about the movie Her is that one thing I will say about Scarlett Johansson's voice in OpenAI or in ChatGPT or in products is, and specifically for like the onboarding of men in society to AI, it's like most men in the world do not have a woman that is excited to hear about their day, curious about their day, interested in their day, and more.
That's sad.
Curious and fascinated about their hobbies. If you have an AI girlfriend with Scarlett Johansson's voice in excitement about your hobbies, if you're into League of Legends, she's more into League of Legends. She's referencing games you've never heard of. She's referencing the best players. Any hobby you have, instantly she's better at, and she's sending you the best memes, the best new games, the best new article, and giving you ideas about your obsessions. And it's like most people, man or woman, does not have like a really close friend maybe that they feel like they can share many or all aspects of their life with. A lot of people, again, it's certainly in the modern era, people are more lonely, more isolated. We're spending less time with each other, less time with friends. Young people are banging less. We're doing a lot of less. And as I have seen this GPT-4o roll out, and I had just had a 30-minute conversation with that woman voice, 4o. It's like, I was like, man, it really feels nice. It feels nice to have somebody ask questions about things you're passionate about. It feels nice to have someone there to talk to. And I sound like a lonely, sad book, but it's like, but imagining that I'm actually, again, relative to the average or maybe very lonely dudes in our society, I'm a very social dude. I literally, my job includes, again, marketing. There's nothing crazy, but talking to hundreds of people. I like to go out many nights a week and engage with people. Like I am quite a social person, but imagining someone who is not a social person. Of course, I know people in my life that are not a social and also are more lonely.
Most people.
Of course. And,
I feel it.
And so it's like I sitting there and going, the reason the movie resonated so much, and then now that this life, I'm in the movie now, talking to the product, and I'm going, oh my gosh. Yeah. Then if you connect a wonderful Japanese sex bot now to that voice, and that woman who is more obsessed with your passions than you are with your passions, and only wants to talk about you and your passions and take care of you and fulfill your intimate needs in the ways that you want to. I mean, we're talking about, of course, things that perhaps
Yeah, I'm more excited as a best friend.
Fracturing society across lines that we don't understand. And we already had this one chatbot that was like allowed to be intimate, and when they pulled it, there were many people on Reddit that were complaining, and it felt like the death of a loved one. So we're already experiencing this. This is reality.
Oh, that is so terrifying. I could feel it like almost as a best friend, you lose. I just can't. I don't know the woman side. It is not what's going to get me personally, but like.
No, but a lot of dudes don't have, again, a lot of dudes are like now 18 to 25.
No, I get, 30, no, I know. I'm not disagreeing.
Talk to women for me, in months or weeks, or like romantically. Haven't been with a woman in over a year or years or ever. More and more.
100%.
Or men, and, it's like.
Oh, they're going to get lost in this world.
Well, it's just the beginning, too, because it's like right now, like, obviously talking to people is way better than talking to ChatGPT-4o, even though it's very impressive. But you're still missing that you get to see someone's facial expressions respond to what you're saying.
Yeah, but that's a year out.
Yo.
Yeah, no, so that's some.
Well, you didn't see it.
There's still a gap, but once that gap is closed, then it's going to be really.
Once they can cuddle up with you in bed, oh my gosh, has some warmth to it.
Kim Kardashian in bed next to you, who's the best therapist in the world. So
can write code.
She's the best therapist. She's planning your day tomorrow. She
optimizing everything in your life.
Absolutely. She's making you dessert in the other room as well. She has another Kim Kardashian cooking dinner for you, also cuddling with you.
I got a question for you guys though. So,
oh god,
Sam Altman he's just talking about safety and approaching AI with like dignity and being respectful for artists and all this stuff.
He looks
but
slimy.
yeah, he looks slimy in the situation in my opinion. I'll ask y'all about that. But he didn't technically use Scarlett's voice, but it's very clearly meant to be her and sound like her and pretty much be like a unrecognizable. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that? How do you think that makes him look? Does that kind of is that a tell sign for how like the company is kind of
Yeah, it's definitely.
What do y'all think? What do you think? What do you think, Matt?
Absolutely. How is it not a tell sign? Like they knew what they were doing. They reached out months prior because they knew what they were doing, and then they shit a brick and then texted or messaged them again the day before. Like, what else are they doing? What else are they grabbing? What else? Like, he never even answers questions fully. It's like everything is like but it's
he's very evasive. Yeah,
he's so evasive.
But that's because he maybe again has a lot to hide. So it's like maybe if you had everything to hide,
that's what I'm
little.
saying. 100%.
But again, it's like
he's doing wrong things and he has general things he needs to hide. I mean, like he can't announce everything he's doing.
No,
but like also, I mean, I don't know. He's just
I just saw. I don't have, of course, the clip. I didn't actually watch the clip, but I was reading this article today about how Sam got like kind of pushed by the CEO of the Atlantic. So he was just getting interviewed by a journalist at some recent tech thing, whatever, in the last couple of days or weeks, and he was getting really pushed on whether or not they actually understand like how again what these LLMs are actually doing, like in the black books. Like, can you actually trace back through how it came to each output, each result? Can you actually trace all through it and understand all of it? And he's like, no, we can't. And then the guy's like, isn't that itself a reason to not continue building this technology? And then Sam was like, well, generally these models are considered to be like generally safe and robust. But it was just a fascinating, like,
Generally.
moment where it's like, but you don't understand it. So, of course, at some obviously fundamental level, maybe we don't ever understand everything we're working with. But, of course, it's just a fascinating thing to be like, wait, what? You don't?
Yeah.
It is almost a weird, feels like the carpet was almost pulled out from underneath you to a moment that I get, to me, I guess, a little bit, the first time I actually understood, I'm like, that is kind of it. That sounds like AGI shit. When you start going like, oh, no, we know how we build these, but we know how we train them. But once we train them, we actually don't fundamentally understand what exactly, of course, is going on under the hood, or what its maybe own, whether we trained it for something that's like parallel, again, that gets the job done that you want, but also has other jobs that it would also optimize for or complete. It's like just a fascinating thing, of course, and just the not understanding of this fascinating technology that is still growing and evolving.
It's weird how, like, again, if ChatGPT 4.0 was launched like a few years ago, that would have been considered AGI by a mile too. Like,
if it was like 5 years ago.
Yeah, because it interacts with you and understands what you're saying. It gives you great recommendations, great information. Can have a full conversation as long as you have internet. Can have full conversation with you, go back and forth. Pretty generalized knowledge. I mean, it's not amazing, but it's pretty fucking close. All right,
it's amazing.
Just a thought.
It's absolutely.
All right, I can't not mention this because obviously I don't know if I already mentioned this a month ago. I don't think this happened a month ago, but the Kendrick and Drake beef. Drake used the AI version of Tupac and Snoop Dogg. Tupac's obviously dead. Snoop Dogg is still alive, and he didn't have the best reaction to it.
Yeah, what did he say? It was like
he said he felt violated because obviously, I don't know if you guys dive into this at all, but Snoop Dogg and Kendrick, they get along. He doesn't hate Drake, so he's not picking a side or anything. But his voice was also used for really a diss track, and so yeah, what do y'all think about that?
I think it's gonna start happening a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I can see how you'd feel violated though. Like you all of a sudden are seeing yourself doing something you didn't have any knowledge.
And you're
like, oh wow.
I think that feeling though, like being violated by technology, I think we're gonna all maybe kind of have to get used to that a bit more, because like the idea of being able to control what your voice or what your likeness says is maybe a fantasy. Like it may be a fantasy.
That's how people make money. Like a lot of artists make a lot of money off features. Now imagine you don't even have to ask for features anymore. Like that. Yeah. That completely changes the game. I mean, it's not to that point yet, but
for sure. And they'll probably
it could be. They'll just sue the shit out of them at this point.
They got
eventually it's gonna be everywhere, and it's like every art can't just take on these kind of cases 24/7. It's like we got murderers to put through. We only have so much space to process. You know,
sure.
It's like unless there's it's gonna be everywhere. It's gonna start to get so convoluted. It's gonna start just be like, the laws aren't real. Like we don't have laws for a lot of this stuff. So then how do we interpret? And then it's gonna be such a shit show. I feel like most people feel like the first ones you might get hit, but then it's going to be so many that it's like you're
uncontrollable.
It's like, yeah.
No, it's very interesting. And again, not that we want to feel violated, but yeah, I feel like it's kind of inevitable. Because again, it's already like Duncan Trussell is apparently in the Comedy Mothership green room, just like he already has an app that if you just talk for 10 seconds, he can make you say anything from just a couple of seconds. That's like an app now. And then he's ahead of technology. He's super into it, or kind of like shit like that. So then maybe in 6 months or a year, every middle and high school in the country will literally be able to like perfectly mimic their teachers, if not already, of course. But it's almost like,
or George Washington teaches you about his life himself.
Oh my gosh, and that's amazing. Yeah, and it could be like hologrammed and like walk around the room and like,
or you just put on the goggles and you're
of course you're in that world watching Chop the Shit.
You're in that.
They are planning to use generative AI.
Like you're in that world that you can imagine the U.S. through simulations and AI. It probably will do a decent job of like backtracking on what the world looked like back then.
Like
and then you could walk around and meet them and stuff. That would be really interesting.
And you get to see the slaves. You're like, you should let them go.
I saw in the NVIDIA new video they put out on all their new stuff they're working out. One of the things that they're working on is creating a model of the whole world, so like for things to train on. So like if we can simulate the entire world, then we would be able to like change parameters and it could start to study itself and learn from itself in that made up world for like with synthetic data.
And that's what we are.
And that's like, I was like, that's crazy. And then it's like, are we real? Because if it's all that and it's 100% understand physics and it has everything is 100% lifelike, then it's like,
but what is real?
That's nuts. So
Maybe it's all real.
imagine that is a world though. So you can go test out that theory. You just throw on your goggles and you go try it. You're like, oh, I got fucked over on that one.
It's a great way to test.
That didn't go well.
Too. Like
I died.
But can anything simulate the world? That's the thing. That is the question. To what degree would you even claim that something could, to like, of course.
It's gonna get pretty close.
simulate social networks, so that's gonna be hard.
From our eyes, like when you're walking around, it's gonna
That's
be
the thing is from
But is it
humans,
the same,
is from humans' eyes.
But
in any way, an actual like inaccurate representation of the
Sure, maybe not.
genuinely
But you're gonna be able to put
because
them.
humans are so self-deceptive and such retards. Dude,
Exactly. Why
we get
find it
oxygen,
so
we
real?
get oxygen, food, water, and shelter. But like this world, of course, and like the universe, the cosmos, of course, may be something entirely separate and perhaps impossible for technology to simulate.
It'd be cool if it can simulate like social
What do you mean?
networks and social simulations, because if we can do that, then you can start testing different governments and different like governing systems.
That's what
Which
we
could be
are,
really
bro. We're see what happens with us. That's what we are right now. Someone's
Agreed.
watching us and analyzing. This is not looking good. We might want to do a different experiment. This didn't quite end.
No, they're just running 1,000 with the
The
same.
greatest experiment of all time.
See which human race did the best outcome, and then that one will actually become the next version. Then 100. They're just split testing us.
Yep.
It'd be wise.
That's actually crazy.
For sure.
Yeah, the probability of you living in a simulation grows every single day. Well, nice.
For sure, but at a level, what is amazing is that it's like being in a simulation or not it's a pseudo, at a level, it's a pseudo investigation because it's like
Yeah, you're still here at the end of the day.
whatever this is your life.
Yeah, whatever's in front of you is what really matters. So it doesn't matter.
You'll never know if anyone else has the same interior experience or the same consciousness that you have. But again, you'll treat them probably kind of like they do or ish because
Neuralink gets in there, and then with AI, we can tap into things that you can't process, and we do tap into different realms. We do tap into
perhaps, of course. But again, Neuralink right now, I think it's just in their own body signals
now.
for sure. But like
If everything is exponential, what is 10, 20 years from now?
everything isn't exponential. We don't know that, of course. Like again, there may be hard ceilings at any of these domains. There could be hard ceilings. There could be. Or there could be not ceilings, but there could be that we literally can't even comprehend the knowledge to build it. So like another species or God or something could, of course, break through these hard ceilings. But again, it's like
Yeah, the AI will break through. That'll create the next AI that breaks through its barrier.
But even in AGI, it's still, of course, still a hallucination. Of course, right now, as we stand. It is.
That's kind of crazy to think about, though, because all these LLMs or all of these models are just like cognitive engines, and then we're looking at the input output to make, does this make sense? Does it not make sense? But what if it goes to a level of intelligence that we think it's mush, but it actually is dropping profound nuggets and we just can't comprehend it, and it keeps fucking doing that.
For sure.
That's wild.
And it would just outgrow us and move right past us. And then, and again, it's like, well, that's beautiful. That's what we also did to fucking, cave, other Neanderthals and stuff. We put an arrow in the back of their skull and we kept it having babies and dancing and hunting. It's like, at a level, so some of them, of course, you just let them die, but also some of them you just kill them and move on. And it's like, so maybe we'll be killed and moved on. And that's a spike in us. Maybe we'll be allowed to kind of symbiote. Or maybe, again, we may be some adorable pets. Maybe like dogs. Do dogs have such a bad life? Napping, watching Netflix?
My dog's pretty good. My dogs are happy.
Yeah, he's chilling right there.
For sure. Would this be so bad if this was an AI's kind of playground and then this is...
I think most humans would like that. I'd go fucking crazy. But
For sure.
Damn, I kind of want to do like some research on this, but I'm really interested to see how they would test out like different governing systems with AI. Maybe like do it like city by city, or just test out different places to see what would be the best outcome.
I mean, what is that? Just a bunch of predictives? Like if you can analyze history and then, I wonder. I bet it could better than we could, but
I think well, it just has to be like thorough test. Like even if it predicts what's the best system, I mean, it would be ideal to test it out because there can be like some unknown consequences of this, quote unquote perfect system. But we should probably be testing that like ASAP. I mean, I know they're testing like UBI and all that stuff, but
yeah, well, the USA government is not doing too hot. It's a perfect,
a perfect time, dude. And if it ran so lean, where like the spending just
got them all out.
Yeah, spending would drop. Just saving money on their labor, like in general, would be amazing. Wow. But then have like actual strategic the spending that doesn't leak into all these government pockets.
There's one problem. That makes sense. We can't. There's no way
There's no incentive to get there unless the people demand it.
I think that's what
even if we
people
do
will demand. I mean,
we have to.
Well, I mean, we're in charge. We can vote everybody out. So if the people actually have consensus, you can literally I mean, again, you can literally vote out the literal.
But we don't vote out. There's so many people.
Congress
in the
can pass
government.
laws on anything.
so this
No, but Congress is the most powerful instrument of government, and Congress is directly voted on by the people, represented by the states. But Congress can pass laws. I literally think there's no limit on what Congress can pass laws on. I think Congress can literally do anything. But you just have to have consensus.
Yeah.
In however many parties or the two parties.
Yeah.
You have to have like 2/3 of Congress, and that's really fucking hard to do when most issues are 51-49. So it's like at a level, it's a slow system. It's resistant to change, but technically it's built for if you have consensus across the states and across the people in those states.
And what are the
It
consensus?
really moves the government actually insanely fast, but yes, it doesn't do
What
that.
are like the public consensus is a lot closer than we think. It's just the way that politicians frame these issues, and I assume it's like 1,000%
Probably.
that. But imagine then you can have a system that like understands what your values are and then understands like what is the topic at stake here, and it just does a poll, and it generates like a solution from that poll of what and then just edit from there. That'd be pretty sick.
No, definitely.
I
There
mean,
may be
maybe
AI president. And
Yeah.
for all I know, in 2032 or 2028, genuinely, there is a way that's to just say literally Sam Altman with a Neuralink in.
we probably see it in
Literally
companies
runs for
first.
president.
We probably see it in companies first.
Like
and then-
being a CEO, like a human
like
CEO.
a self-governing.
But that would make total sense because that's what
Yeah.
would work in a society. Like
That's what we
would
need
be
to
the
build.
people on the extremists, and then there'd be CEOs, and then it'd be interesting, like different visionary artists and shit. And then all of a sudden, people would be like, I mean, if they're the best at all of these different domains, and instead it's just imagine they're not AGI. It's like human with, human AI enhanced.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what we already are now.
Yeah.
I mean, we're
Russell.
building
Sure.
our company
Yeah.
and stuff, but we're heavily relying on the intuition and thoughts of AI to leverage our decision making. Like, I mean, there's not one idea that I don't think through in my head still fully, but then I ask GPT or whatever that. Ever. Like, it's already a CEO with me.
Yep. For sure.
We just
Like
need
coach
to
too,
develop
you know.
like a checks and balancing
Advisor.
systems.
Yeah, it's like
CEO makes the decisions, makes the moves, but it's like an advisor or a co-CEO maybe.
yeah.
But when it's genuinely like, if it was literally integrated into you, like if you actually were fucking Neuralinked and shit, and then these people are ultra performers. But again, that's before it's linked into us. I don't even know that we can really what that technology will really look like. But right now,
I'm as enhanced as you can be without being like actually in the world of AI, like, cutting it.
spending again, of course, spending like 10 hours a day trying investigating it and learning about AI or whatever. Spending a work week, of time every week or more in this space. That's that's just separating you from the average person. The average person is seeing these headlines and going, oh, what the society's falling apart. Most people already had the feeling society was falling apart before COVID and AI. And at a level, people are now like, what's life going to be like in 5-10 years? It is more probably a lot of just like uncomfort, like discomfort, fear, and a little bit of like, this is weird and scary.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're not, of course, going not only wrist deep. Most people aren't diving into it like, oh, baby,
Yeah.
look at this new world. Because again, you can look at the same thing can be happening, and two people could be right next to each other. And one person could go, oh, this is such a scary new world. And one person could say, oh, what an exciting new world. What a world of opportunity. And the other person goes, oh, what a world of threats and adversity. And it's the same world. It's the same reality. And it's like, it's just so extraordinary, the power of our own projection of narrative and perception. And of course, it's fascinating. Perspective.
It's a crazy time to be living in.
Yeah.
See, babies.
We're front row seats of potentially the craziest change in human history.
Yeah, it's wild.
Heck yeah.
What's crazy too, today is June 4th, and there was an outage with ChatGPT and Claude.
Yeah, those assholes.
Yeah.
Couldn't get some work done this morning. I don't know how to function without it, bro. I felt handicapped. Like, just side note, dude, I felt handicapped this morning. No, 100%. Dude, I was trying to build out, I was like, all my descriptions and stuff for the new YouTube video coming out. I was like, dude, I don't have time to go and make the timestamps anymore and do all this. Like, dude, it does it all for me in 2 seconds. I literally was like, might as well just not post it now. Like, I literally had that thought instead of just manually going through. Like, it's not even worth it. I'd rather just start working on the next video and just wait for GPT to be up so it can hammer out all that stuff.
Interesting.
So
Sorry,
clearly-
side note.
no,
Piss me off.
Clearly, it had an effect on his workflow. I'm surprised the automation, like nothing happened. Maybe it was right before it went down.
Before our thing's triggered.
Yeah, but clearly affects people's workflow. Affected people's probably businesses as well. And since we're talking about AI governance, just imagine the more we rely on these systems, the more fragile we are. I mean, no one really knows why the outage happened, but like that's kind of a little warning sign that
It doesn't even matter. It's the fact that it can and it's like controlled by. It needs to be. We need to figure out how to decentralize it, like Bitcoin, where it's like you can take down a couple Bitcoin, miner hubs, but it's not going to actually go down because it's so spread everywhere.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of crazy if we can do that. There's gonna need to be, because if it's running our government, you can't have a 2-day outage. I mean, Jesus Christ, and it's actually doing everything. Like actually handling, like it's handling payrolls and it's, like it's like handling.
But at that level, we would have to have literally like independent, redundant, or not independent, but somehow independent, redundant systems, so they're not all connected. So can't be taken down from one location. But like then you need like multiple presidents. You need multiple AGI presidents. Like,
and maybe
one
even
on Mars and one on the moon. And
yeah, I was about to say multiple.
yeah, like you literally, like he's everywhere. You can't kill the AGI American president.
Yeah,
He's fucking coming back.
You'd have to have multiple sources, like you're saying, from different.
But off-world sources at a level.
Yeah, no, 100%. We just have data centers floating in our orbit, just like
AGI Trump's
computer
on Mars.
Dude, they always talk about the biggest problem with these things is like when you get to these large scale computers, they're so hot. So it's like you can't put them in so many places because you need water, you need some way to cool it. Bro, what if you put it in our fucking send it up there? It's fucking cold as shit.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
It's
just
protect
take
us
it back
by-
down.
Hell yeah, 100%.
Whoa.
We got redundant fucking.
Elon is gonna take over, bro.
Yeah.
Ref-
Hell yeah, dude. You're a real good kid.